Okay, so Nick Jonas is here, darling.
Yay!
Darlings.
Nick.
Can we start with the most uncomfortable moment we've ever had?
Let's do it.
Let's start with the video.
You're talking about you and I, or
Okay.
You two?
No. Just, us, without you.
Well, the last time we saw you, we made you take your shirt off in a store window at Macy's in New
Which
York
was
City.
benign compared to what I saw.
Yeah.
And compared to other, by the way, you gave us a kind of hard time about that. And then we see what you've done since then, and we don't know if we opened the gates
Ellen,
or.
describe what we saw.
All right.
Just describe it.
By the way, Kingdom. Congrats on Kingdom.
well done.
Thank you
Doing
so
well.
much. Yeah, it's exciting.
And in Kingdom, there are scenes where you have to make love,
Yes. Yeah.
and we saw the whole thing.
We saw the rotation.
Interesting.
was
So
more
was
of-
it?
it was
I've seen
more of a
I've seen
rotation.
two like gifs of it, and then one where it's just rotation.
You were
as
there. What do you
mentioned.
mean gifts? You were there.
Well, because here's the deal: is that my
I've seen
experience,
gifts. You did it.
my experience is this: is that in the room, it was not something I was thinking about. It's part of the job, right?
Right.
It's like you have to do this as part of the storytelling.
Well, of
I didn't really
course.
think about it. I sort of just tried to get through it. And it was
It's
done.
art.
And then afterwards, I watched it back and was like, wow,
Okay.
okay. And I just,
How do you
know.
do that? I mean,
How do you do that? Was it
describe
like, we were
describe
like,
what happened.
Okay, so really?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's
can
better
I
from
at
you.
this
You're a
time
mom.
of
It's
the-
better from you.
All right, there is a lady. Nick's laying down, and she's. I mean, there's a lot. There's nudity, and there's a
There's
sex
nudity.
scene, and it looks very real. And I'm like, is that real?
It's definitely not real.
Of course. What do you wear?
You wear like a sock, basically.
That's it.
Very.
What does she
big
wear? It doesn't
sock.
look like she was wearing anything.
She was wearing something.
Oh,
There's
No,
certain
she
laws
wasn't.
and
I saw the
things,
back
too.
of her.
Oh,
She had,
there are
what did she have
laws.
on tape?
It's they get very creative with how they cover
how
it
they
all up.
cover everything.
So what did Olivia
But yeah, that's
have to
that's a
say
big
about
part of
that
it
scene?
Is we definitely have a conversation before, make sure everyone's comfortable. I think that it's,
And she
like I
said she
it's a
was?
part of the job, so it's required.
Did
of
she
me
say
for
she was
storytelling.
comfortable?
I mean, it naturally makes her uncomfortable.
Well-
I mean, when you really care about somebody and they have to do
course,
something
yeah.
like that for their job, it's uncomfortable. But
course,
she's
it's
understanding,
work.
and she's pursuing a career in acting as well. And I'm sure there will be a situation in time where I have to be in the other side.
Well,
of
I
that.
think you might be jealous if she does that.
Look at you.
You know?
Ryan.
You're-
Interesting.
The puffy chest, the
Yeah, yeah.
jealousy.
Will your role on Kingdom involve more of these scenes that we'll be seeing early in the morning
there-
when I play them for Ryan?
Let's see. There's
By the way,
another one.
I come in first thing. She goes, "Look at this."
Look
I'm
at
like,
this. Like he didn't even sit down
Your
yet. I'm
eyes
like, Ryan, look at this.
She was so
Oh my
excited.
God.
Yeah.
There is more of that.
Oh,
This
there
season.
is.
A
Uh-huh.
big part of
God.
my character storyline is his sexuality, and as the season goes on, we'll see more of that.
Jealous is so good. It's a hit. I
Thank you
told
so
you when I heard it the
know.
first time. I'm like, dude, this is so great. It's such
It's
a
awesome.
hit.
No, it's unbelievable because my brothers and I didn't really have a song that kind of went at radio, and Jealous has kind of taken off in that way, and it's been
Are they
Totally
a bit
amazing.
jealous of you,
Uh,
you now breaking away and having this massive hit?
No, I think there's a lot of support. I mean, anytime you transition from a group situation to a solo situation, I think it's going to be complicated in some areas. But they have been really supportive, and that's meant the world.
But do they kind of wish? They kind of wish you were still in the group.
I don't know.
Kind of.
I haven't asked them. I think that chapter's closed for all of us.
And you'll never go back.
No, is it really closed?
It is, yeah.
It is.
I mean, you
forever.
never know. I mean, so much has changed for me in a year that I couldn't tell you what's going to happen in 10 years. But
So when you left the guys, what was the vision? What was the goal for you? What do you want to do?
goal for me, it was actually exactly a year ago right now that I was sitting in my apartment in New York and kind of looking at the ceiling being like, what am I doing with my life? What am I going to do? I knew there was music on my heart, music I wanted to make, and that I wanted to pursue some more serious acting projects, but that all felt so far out of reach at that moment. And
Were you fearful a little bit?
of course, and at times still am. I now put more pressure on myself than I ever did. I've tried to approach this next phase with a really open mind and just try to enjoy every moment of it because it is so different and there's new experiences. Even though I've been doing it now for 10 years.
What was the conversation with the guys when you said you wanted to do your thing?
It came at a time that was incredibly tricky because we were gearing up for a tour and there were other projects that were about to happen, but everything kind of hit a wall in a way. And I felt it was really important for me to just share my heart and say, look, this is how I feel, and have it come from a place of, honesty and transparency because I think, you owe that to the people you love to be really transparent.
How did they respond?
At first it was kind of shock, and they were caught off guard. and it was emotional, and it took a couple hours to actually get it to a place where we could have a conversation and open it up. And in that conversation,
were they a little bit upset?
Oh yeah, of course. But in the conversation that we eventually had over the course of what was 2 days of being locked in a room and just talking everything out, going back, I mean, 10 years of working together, living together, all that coming out, we all came to a place where I think we agreed that it was time to close that chapter and all pursue different things.
It's a tough conversation,
absolutely,
right? With your brothers, right?
It's frightening.
Your mom and dad must be proud too. They're like, hey, they worked it out.
Yeah, I think so.
I know both of them. They're very proud. Trust me. Are they still? Do they manage you still? Your dad?
My dad is a part of my team, my personal team, and he works with me, and it's a great dynamic we have. I've got my biggest fan a part of my team. That feels good.
Oh.
This is really unfair here.
So Nick, you have to like jump around to get it, or unless you want the dare. You might want the dare.
By the way, this is so much tamer than the stuff I've seen you doing on social media, so I'm not worried. Okay, so here we go. Ready? So I want to make it so he doesn't have to do the dare.
Well, no, you want him to do the dare, right?
No, I'm on his team.
Oh, okay,
I want to
then
make
yeah.
it so he doesn't have to do a dare.
Then be a good shot. Mm-hmm. Oh, he got it in. It's good.
I made it through his crotch.